Your daddy died in the first COVID plague. He was such a brilliant father and engineer who gave me computers and love and art materials. I agree with what I am saying. Yeah, it's rough out here. My dad's still alive and kicking, and taking care of my grandma, who is still alive and kicking, who's pushing 100. And yeah, it's... my dad was a biker, and my mom was a bartender. And it was not an advantageous position to which to start out life. But, you know, they tried. They did their best. And, honestly, they deserve the rest and relaxation that retirement is giving them. My mom still stresses way more than she should. But my dad, he's fully gone into, kind of a hedonistic, I only do what I want phase of his life, and I'm so proud of him for that, because he worked very hard and achieved very little, and so like he deserves his break. Even then, like he's got to take care of grandma. She started falling down and not being able to get up, so I've got a parent with my grandma at any given time. Wow, your mom is 80 and somehow younger than you? I get that. Every now and then I meet an old person and they're just fit. All Alliance and Resistance units are now withdrawn from Specula Imperatoris. It is time we spoke with General Aldine. I got some sad news yesterday. My 92-year-old neighbor, who is an absolute treasure. She is a wonderful Brazilian woman who has just been super kind, super nice. She's my neighbor. And like, I've enjoyed living next to her immensely. Like, I go over there and I help her with like house things, like changing out her fire alarms, like telling her what scams are and what are and aren't scams. And I just got the news that she's moving away to be closer to family because she's getting more and more forgetful and needs a little assistance. And man, I am gonna miss her. She was such a good neighbor. She loved my kids. My kids loved her. These deaths weigh heavily on my soul. Commander Kemp's most of all. He was a wise leader. He was a patriot. But above all else, he was a good man who will be sorely missed. One of many lost this day. I ask for a moment's silence to pray for the souls of the departed. We've suffered a grievous defeat, but we cannot and will not renounce his cause. The die has been cast. Hold tight to this grief, this anger. Let it drive you forward. Let it be your strength and your shield when you next face your enemy. We'll carry us far, General. Of that I have no doubt. Ere we take another step towards Alamigo. However, we must first address the question of how to deal with Castrum Albania's cannon. Sorry, Albania. I might have said Albania. I don't want to accuse Albania of having cannons or weapons of mass destruction. As far as I know, they're pretty chill. I don't know, it's kind of near the Bosnia-Herzegovina region, right? Am I thinking of the right Albania? Yeah, I am. And I know they've had some turmoils in the past, though it's been kind of quiet over there, as far as I know. I hope they're doing good. Like, the east of Italy region, always... I've never understood. I knew there was a Yugoslavia, and like now it's 8,000 different countries. Even Macedonia's back. Anyway, if the Imperials are willing to employ the weapon without thought for their own soldiers' safety, we may struggle to approach them. A frontal assault is out of the question. We'd lose countless men before we even reach the walls. Would we? Recall that the Imperials could have obliterated our forces had they kept firing, but neglected to do so. They had no strategic reason to cease fire, which begs the question, why did they? You suspect they were unable to fire the cannon again, mayhap due to a malfunction. Or one of their officers found his conscience and after the first barrage, or a heretofore unknown resistance faction chose that moment to disable it. Many possibilities, but the fact remains, they stopped when logic dictated they continue. I'll just have to go and see for myself if the cannon is still operational. Are you mad? Conrad put you in charge of the resistance. We can't risk losing another commander so soon. Know how you feel, Nago? I do, but I need you to understand. It wasn't long after Papalimo and I arrived at Ralger's Reach that Conrad first asked me to join the resistance. And then he kept on asking. Every time I said no, I told myself it was because of the Scions. But even then, I knew deep down it was an excuse. I was still afraid of following my heart. Because I couldn't be sure if it was for me or for Ida. But then, I met someone on the other side of the world who'd struggled with the same worries. And as we traveled and fought together, I saw him grow and become the leader his people needed him to be. And now it's my turn to do the same. There's not a lot left of us. And the ones that are, and of the ones that are, many are still wounded. We have to make do with what we've got. And I'm the best qualified. It's as simple as that, but don't worry, Nago. I'll come back, I promise. Rhino on Twitch says, as cool as the Final Fantasy universe always looked, really can't get into story games. Well, good morning, Sugarheart. There have been a couple I can't get into. Final Fantasy VI is probably my favorite. Followed by 7 and 9. But I get you. While I acknowledge Commander Heck's right to carry out this mission, I see no reason why she should do so alone. Old, will you go with her? Would have done it even if you hadn't asked, sir. Then it's settled. We will await your return. You don't know the countries anymore, and America is divided into the intelligent people in the country of Dumbfuckistan. I mean, I think a lot of that is smoke and mirrors. I like to believe that there are a lot of smart, rational, and well-meaning people in America, and we just don't get to see them. It almost feels like propaganda to accuse everyone of being an idiot. Or not everyone, like half the people. And a lot of people are idiots, don't get me wrong. But like whenever I go out in public and I talk to real human beings, like I'm usually met with rational, well-meaning humans. And I've just gotta recognize that as reality instead of what I see and hear on TV and in social media. As for like other countries, my knowledge comes from games, even in countries. When I was a kid, I used to play a game called Geomaster, where you would take over the world by answering like simple trivia questions. And so I memorized a lot. Like, I memorized every country in the world in like 1995-ish, in the like early 90s. And so a lot of times I'll be like, oh, Swaziland, and they're like, it's Eswatini now. And then I'm like, oh, Zaire, and they're like, oh, it's the People's Republic of the Congo. And I'm just like, man, I knew everything once, and then everything changed. I don't have a Yugoslavia. I don't have a USSR. So I've started playing Global in my free time in like practice mode to like help me learn all the countries again, and I'm getting pretty good at it. You learn the most about other countries outside of the US from speaking to people who live there while playing video games together. That's a good way to do it. I mean, you get to speak with like the most populated countries, but you'll never learn about Tonga or Kiribati or the other non-video gamed countries. I hope they have video games there. I would feel sad for them if they didn't. I know the people of Tonga have a file I didn't correctly secure when FTPing it. It's okay, it was a test file. No real data was lost. Security did throw my laptop in the lake, though. Sorry to drag you into this, old. It may not be the decision Conrad would have made, but I'm not Conrad. I never will be. I don't know what kind of leader he was hoping for, but right now all I can do is be myself. That is a great policy to have for leading. Like, you never lead like somebody else. You gotta lead like you.